All right, I guess this is my first vlog. I've never even held the camera in this position before, so we'll see how it goes. But we're out here for two reasons. One reason being that I didn't feel like setting up lights today. And the second reason being that I have a new lens to show you. Let's get it out here. This is the Laowa 60mm anamorphic macro lens. If I'm right, I don't think there is a macro anamorphic lens that exists. So we'll see if that's cool or not. But I don't have any idea on what to film. Part of the reason why I'm out here, trying to come up with inspiration. I'm gonna try a couple different scenarios and see if I can come up with an idea of what to film with this thing. So let's see.
Real big goals and my homies want the same. Gangsters moving silence. We've been down.
All right, it's my birthday today, but I got you guys a gift. F1 is officially here. It's been a long time in the making, and it is what I've been using and developing in DaVinci Resolve for look development and film.
All right, so I found a little park bench to sit on and finish up the rest of this lens talk, I guess you could call it. You know, inspiration didn't strike. Sometimes it doesn't strike, and that's okay. But this lens is definitely interesting. I wish I got to put it on a Komodo or something to really see what it looks like on a Super 35 sensor, but with clear image zoom, it ended up working out pretty well. The close focus is pretty amazing. I have the Laowa probe lens, and I don't really love using that thing just because the amount of light required is such a hassle, and it has a weird color shift, but still a super cool lens. And yeah, anamorphic macro, that doesn't really exist until now. It's pretty cool to see all these different lenses that Laowa is coming out with. I know they have an anamorphic zoom too, which is pretty unheard of. You know, a couple kinks to work out. I didn't really think there was a ton of anamorphic quality to this lens, being like, I don't really think it had the super like smeary background, which, you know, I guess could be a good thing because you could use the lens in a, you know, typical, you could use the lens like across, you know, different projects, and it wouldn't require a ton of.
This mother bear has been waiting months for this moment. Competition is fierce for these first salmon, even between the mother and her own cubs.
So what I was trying to say is that I didn't notice a ton of waterfall bokeh, so like the, you know, super smeary background that you get, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, ultimately, that's up to you. A lot of people talk about the Blazar remises and how they are just, they have so much funk to them that it can be kind of tough to use those across like a bunch of different jobs. And this you could pretty much use on any job as long as it fit in with your aspect ratio. And what this lens is really great at is close focus, which is something that typical anamorphics are horrible at. Like usually you have to use diopters, and this thing has insane close focus. So let's take a look at how close we can get with it. So this is my super scientific setup. Got the FX6 on a coaster and got the Hasselblad as close to it as I could possibly get while still keeping it in focus. So if you come over here, you can see, because it's a Super 35 sensor or Super 35 lens, you still see this vignetting, but with Sony's clear image zoom, just hit this little zoom rocker and it zooms right in. And I usually just zoom in until I no longer have a vignette. And we are just gonna check close focus here. All right, so I got a little flare test set up here. Try and show you guys what the amber flare looks like. They're available in amber, silver, and blue. I went with the amber one. So here we go. It's not really flaring super hard right now. Let's try to get the light a little bit closer to the lens and see if we can get it to flare real nice. There we go. I think this looks really nice. I used it on a live performance take that I was shooting with my friend, and we got the lens to flare a ton. We basically set up backlights everywhere and just let all of the anamorphics rip, and it was just flaring like crazy. So we really leaned into that look. But the flare seems pretty controlled. It's not going to just flare like crazy on its own, which I like because I think sometimes flares can be, you know, a little too distracting. So in my opinion, this is really nice, and I'm liking the amber here. Okay, it's getting pretty dark out here. I got my iPhone for a light. Hopefully these little sequences give you an idea of what the lens can look like. It's available in 3 different flares: amber, blue, and silver. I got the amber one. It's a pretty cool little lens. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know if you like these vlog style videos. It's definitely weird walking around in the woods holding up a camera, but I feel a little bit more relaxed and feel like as I'm walking around, I can kind of get the ideas flowing. So we'll see you in the next one. Bang. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. You know, I never really know how to end these things, so here we are.